My values are really based on authenticity. It's not about pleasing everybody, that is impossible. And I learned that a long time ago. So as a Caribbean young girl, I went from high school to college. And on my first year of college, my father decided to take us to Canada. He had already lived there for many years. So I had the opportunity to visit and then eventually move to Canada. So I moved from the Atlantic Ocean to the Rocky Mountains. And nobody warned me about that. And it's almost like you are on a train, 100 kilometers per hour. You are going from the south to the north. And your job is to jump from that train to another one. That's the best way I can explain it. So there is that rebirth of my own culture from the eyes of the world. And so when I left Colombia, for instance, I've never felt so intimidated by how people perceive my country. And being Colombian alone was negative. So whenever I presented myself, the stereotypes were everywhere. Whether I had to use drugs because I was Colombian, whether we have phones and we use cars back home. Those are the questions that came to me when I moved to Canada. But I realized that people just didn't know. And so over the years, just like my country, I have found myself in a different light. And today, more than ever, I celebrate where I come from. But I have been celebrating it since I left anyway. I have been founder and co-founder of several dance academies, both in Canada and here. I grew up dancing and performing in Colombia. That was the only thing my mom could afford. And so she always made sure that I knew to be comfortable within my own skin. And dancing, performing arts was an amazing way to do so. So my values have a lot to do with that little girl being afraid, but also understanding that everybody has a journey to follow. Authenticity has become something that I'm trying to not compromise, where whether we disagree or agree, it is okay. And I will still respect you and value you as a person, as a friend, as a colleague. I'm also very aware of the fact that because my life is not necessarily the most common one, and that took me a while to realize as well, then I'm okay with people being more of one dimension, because I'm not. Last Sunday, during the Esperanza Festival, we had a few kids that performed for the first time. One in particular had never done it. His parents were there, and Dad was crying. And I only found out later. And they were so not only proud of him dancing, but they were so afraid he wasn't going to. And so performing in front of all these people for the first time, and when we finished performing, he goes, Mommy, I did it. So I think at the end of the day, when I hear those stories and I know I was part of that, that is the beauty of what you do, is inviting people, sharing with them your own fears and inviting them to find their own light, regardless of the age, regardless of where they come from. It doesn't matter. And so I think that's the beauty of what I am and what I'm doing right now. And it began with that little girl who left her country 20 plus years ago, so afraid of the world in front of her, and not even knowing who she was. Am I going to fit in? So instead of trying to fit in, I decided, I'm just gonna be me. And the world follows. That's pretty much my journey.